Hello and welcome. I'm Harish, and in this channel I talk about how you can build pretty much anything from a web app to a mobile app or an automation without writing a single line of code. And this one is specific to Thunkable, where I'm going to show you how you can build an onboarding experience for a mobile app that you're building. You can replicate this on top of any app that you're creating using Thunkable, right? Thunkable lets you create native apps on web, mobile, any OS, up to you. So let's get started. Right, once you log into Thunkable, you can, if you don't have an account, you can use the link in the description below to sign up and create an account on Thunkable. And this is the dashboard that you see once you log into your account. And let's create a new app. I'm going to just show you how to create an onboarding experience. If you already have an app existing in Thunkable, what you have to do is make the first screen the onboarding screen, because every time the app opens, your first screen that you have will be the screen that is loaded. So it's better to have that as the first screen so that you can check if the user has completed onboarding or not, and then redirect them to the actual app, right? So I'm going to call this onboarding demo, put it in education category and create. Right, once you have the canvas, let's have 3 screens, and let me just create the first screen and just duplicate the others, right? So for the first one, let's have a simple icon with a big size, or let's use an emoji in this case. My favorite website for emojis is Emojipedia, in case you look for websites where you can get emojis from. I'm just going to use 3 simple emojis, right? You just have to paste it in the label and increase the size, align it to center to make it look beautiful, and then align the whole thing to the center of the app, right? And then let's also imagine that there is some text where you're explaining what your app does. And to get some dummy text, I will use this website that you can also use. I'm just going to copy one paragraph from here. All the content is dummy. You have to just pick up the idea of creating the onboarding experience from here, right? So I'm going to paste the text here and then change this to 16 and also align it to center. So that's our first screen, right? I'm going to rename the screen to onboarding 1, and then let's have a skip button here and also a next button so that the user can go to the next screen, right? Ideally, onboarding is usually done when you want to explain what are the features of the app or what the app does and how users can use the app, right? It is usually shown when the user is looking at it first time. So when somebody clicks on skip, what we will do as part of the logic is to skip the whole experience to load forever, right? So let's add a quick label here, and the text for that will be skip. I'm going to rename the label also to skip, right? If somebody clicks on this, we will skip forever, right? I'm going to just keep the touch area as wide as I can, so when somebody is touching, it should be clickable, right? And for the next button, we'll use a simple button and then change it to next. So the label of the button to next, right? Now we have a generic screen, right? You also have options of updating background picture if you want. What I'll do is let me quickly upload a background picture. I have a couple of options here that I have downloaded. I'm just using simple gradients. The probably easiest way to show you as an example. Right, once you upload the pictures, you can select which gradient you want to show. This one looks good. What we'll do now is basically click on the 3 dots on the top right corner beside the name of the screen and say duplicate, right? And then once you duplicate this, you'll have onboarding 2 set up, and then you'll have onboarding 3, right? As I said, we'll do 3 screens for the sake of this demo. In the third one, we don't have to skip anymore, right? So I'm just going to select the skip in third screen, and then let's delete it, right? And we'll quickly center this button and make it right. Now we have all 3 screens. I'm going to go back to the first one. When somebody clicks on skip, we have to permanently close the onboarding. When somebody clicks next, we have to go to the next onboarding screen, and the last one obviously will send them to the actual app, right? So we'll add a screen that is actual home screen that loads, right? So I'm going to rename this to home, and as a background image, let's just quickly add a nice GIF. Let's see. I'm going to quickly grab a GIF and upload it. So that's a GIF that I picked. Since this is a mobile app demo, I picked a vertical image. So make sure you select the appropriate image so that the image is also visible. I'm going to copy the link and go back to Thunkable and just say background picture, type in URL and just paste the URL. That's it. Alright. Now this is your home screen in your use case. I'm just using a background image just to show you a demo. Right. So that's the user interface. Now let's quickly jump into blocks and see how to build the logic for this. So in blocks, we'll start with the first screen. When somebody clicks on skip, we take the user to the home screen, right? And also we have to remember, if you want to track if the user has already skipped it, we shouldn't be showing them the onboarding, right? Because it is just not a great user experience. So what we'll do is we'll quickly create a stored variable where you can store the value of if the user has finished the onboarding or not. So for that, go to variables, initialize app and change app to stored. Let me just zoom in here so that you can see, right? Initialize app to, let's say, onboarding status. When somebody skips, let's update the variable also, right? So I'm clicking on variable and then I'm going to say change onboarding status to text and then let's add skip and then let's send the user to the home screen. So just navigate the user to home. Now this is when the user clicks on skip in the first screen, right? Now let's also handle the next button. Now click on next button. When next is clicked, we don't have to do anything, just navigate the user to onboarding 2, right? Now we just need these two. So I'm going to copy this, go to onboarding 2, paste it here, right? It got pasted here. Hold on. Copy this, go to onboarding 2 and paste it here, right? Now here you have to change the label appropriately. So when skip 1 is clicked, again same logic, no changes. Now when next one is clicked, you have to just do the same, navigate the user to onboarding 3, right? Now we'll copy the same block again and go to onboarding 3, but in onboarding 3 there is no skip, so we are not going to use it. What we are going to do here is when next is clicked here, what we are going to do is update the variable that the onboarding is complete and not skipped, right? So for here I will do onboarding status change to complete and also navigate the user to the home screen, right? So navigate the user to home screen. Now that's it. Now let's quickly preview this and then I will also tell you what else we need to add to check, right? Now when you play this, right, it loads the third screen because we were on the third one when we click preview. So what we are going to do is go to onboarding 1 to preview this, and you can alternatively also test this on mobile. I'll do preview in a new window and then let's test it here. So it loads the first screen. When I say skip, it goes directly to the home screen. And now if I refresh this app, it should always show the GIF, which it doesn't, right? Now what we have to do is add the check to this so that when the home screen, as in the when default screen, the first screen is loaded, if the onboarding has already been skipped, we have to send the user back to home page. We should stop showing the onboarding, right? So I'm going to go back, close this tab, go back to editing, and now go back to onboarding 1, and in every single onboarding screen we have to add this check, which is when the screen loads, when onboarding 1 opens, we are going to add a check to see if the status is not empty, right? So for that, go to control, if, let's do if else, if, and then we also have to check, right? So for that we have to do, there should be an empty one, yeah, if stored variable onboarding status is empty, right? So go back to variable, get this, if this is empty, don't do anything. If it is not empty, send the user directly to home screen, right? Because it doesn't matter if the user has skipped or if he has completed, he has to at the end of the day see the home screen, right? So just to navigate to home in the else block. Now in the if condition is valid block, you don't do anything because it's already empty, right? So user has to take the onboarding. Now let us preview this again, once again, right? Now this, you see, it immediately goes to home screen. I'm sure the experience is much more better when you actually see it on a mobile actual app. So yeah, that's how you build an onboarding. Now if you do refresh, same, it goes directly to the home screen. That's how you build an onboarding experience using Thunkable. For mobile app is the context for this video. And if you learned something new from this, consider dropping a like below, and also subscribe to the channel if you are into building without coding. See you in the next one. Peace.